Wow, yesterday was something. And today, as we return to our normal pattern for Advent, it almost feels like we've shifted into a much lower gear, which is okay. You know, the season of Advent can be looked upon as a small Lent. And if you read the words of the prayers, the oration in the missal for these days, you can get that sense. A lot of that stuff is just rewritten in the Magnificat and other religious books and so forth. And you can get that sense that there is a prayerful preparation. You know, I was looking at Facebook yesterday or the day before, and somebody that I know had posted something that wherever and whoever the place is where she went to Mass, I hope it was before or after the Immaculate Conception, but she came away with, Father was preaching about Advent being a small Lent. It's like, no, that's not the homily for the Immaculate Conception. This is a party. This is a party. This is a celebration. This is pulling out all the stops. But now we've returned. Now we've returned to our rhythm, our journey through Advent. And it's a short journey. I kind of wish Advent had another 2 weeks tacked onto it. It always goes so quick, and you look at the end of the calendar, you know, we got that fourth Sunday of Advent, and then Christmas follows right on its tail. And you're like, those are the years that are kind of tough. Got to scramble, got to regroup, got to reboot. So we hear today from Isaiah, and it's repeated in the Gospel, and we have a connection to John in what is said. You know, make the way ready, prepare the valleys, fill them in, the hills, level them, the rough ways make smooth. And this is what you do when a king is supposed to arrive in your town. But it has a deeper spiritual meaning. It's talking about preparing our heart for what is to come. So again, in Advent, we prepare to celebrate that first arrival of Jesus as a tiny baby boy, helpless. And then we wait until his return in glory at the end of time. And we never know when that is. And then the church fathers and other theologians talk about an intermediate arrival. And I think these are the good things to focus on as we gather to celebrate the Eucharist. And we have to ask ourselves, how am I doing in my intermediate preparations? And that could be that little Lent I was talking about. Am I praying more? Am I stopping by the Adoration Chapel more? Or am I spending more time at Walmart fighting the crowds and all the other things that we do? You know, got to get the latest iPhone and the latest thingamabob. And you're like, well, wait, there's something really special happening here. How do we level that ground? How do we fill in those gaps? How do we cut down those hills? And I just want to give you one little idea. One little idea. You can find this on the internet. It is put out by the Sisters of Life. And these sisters are very orthodox sisters, and very, very faithful to the church teaching and morality, and their charism is human life. What a beautiful devotion and dedication as a religious sister. And so we have a group of them stationed in Phoenix, and they have a prayer card that they put out called, and some of you are familiar with it, the Litany of Trust. And I'm just going to read a few of the invocations here. But this would be a good thing to look up on the internet, to print out, and to use as a prayer as you wait for that intermediate arrival of the Lord Jesus as we go through Advent. The litany of trust. From the belief that I have to earn your love, deliver me, Jesus. From the fear that I am unlovable, deliver me, Jesus. From the false security that I have what it takes, deliver me, Jesus. From the fear that trusting you will leave me more destitute, deliver me, Jesus. From all suspicion of words and promises, deliver me, Jesus. From the rebellion against childlike dependency on you, deliver me, Jesus. You get the gist. You know, we struggle with so much, especially around the holidays. Maybe someone's passing, could be even years ago. The feelings come to the surface about this time, and it makes it hard to go through. Well, we can turn all of that over to Jesus and let him take care of it. As we journey through Advent, we let him level those hills, fill in those valleys, and make the crooked ways straight.